What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the It Resolves podcast. My name is Kevin.
My name is Will. Thank you for tuning in, watching, or listening, doing it however you're doing it, where you're doing it. We remembered after all this time.
We did. Sorry for Forgotten Hunter, welcome. Minecraft Dude, welcome. Glad you guys could come hang out. I know we did not have a podcast episode last week. Unfortunately, schedules just didn't line up. That wasn't necessarily anybody's fault. It just didn't
Halloween.
happen.
We were pranking little kids, throwing eggs at houses. You know how the youth do.
Yeah, dude. That's what we gotta do.
For legal reasons,
we have to put them in their place. Yeah, so unfortunately we didn't have a podcast episode last week, but it's fine. We're here today. We're talking about Commander Legends, and we're stoked about it. Before we jump into this and do our random card of the day, I just want to throw out two things. One, Commander Legends giveaway going on right now. If you are not already following and you stumble upon this, please feel free to follow. That's the only thing you have to do to get an entry and win a free Commander Legends booster box. We are giving away a full booster box this time. This is our biggest giveaway yet. If you would like to subscribe, Forgotten Hunter, Minecraft Dude. What?
Just of all the boxes we've given away
to
win, this would be a great one.
This would be a really good one. This is a pretty sweet one. But yeah, subscribers get an extra entry, so just a heads up there. Also, you'll see it every like half hour in the chat. Our little cloud bot is going to throw up a little merch link for you. We just released the Confident Not Skilled shirt. If you would like to pick that one up, I'm wearing it now. I look hot. Then please feel free to. We've got other ones in there. We've just got basic It Resolves stuff, and then we've also got In Bolas We Trust. If you would like to pick those up, please feel free. If I win, I'll show you what I get in Discord. Forgotten Hunter, please do. And Alex, I love it. Yes. We are going to talk Commander Legends today, but before all of that, two things actually. Will, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Charlotte local beer. It's from Sycamore Brewing in the Queen City. It's called the Sun-Grown Lager. Not special, not fancy, but it is a local brew, and I like lagers. So
there you go. That's all you need.
There you go.
That's awesome. I am finishing off a bottle of Aberfeldy 12-year Scotch, and I've got my Glenlivet 12-year on hand, ready to go, thanks to my lovely fiance, which Will got to hear that interchange right before we got started. Stream's laggy for you.
So here's what.
Oh no.
I think I might be lagging.
Yeah, I think you are a bit.
Will. I've noticed that I've been lagging. This is new.
Will's always laggy, guys. This is just a norm.
It's true.
I'm looking at it on my end. It seems okay on my end, Alex, but yeah. Okay.
You're in the car. Oh, come on.
Why didn't you preface with that? Forgotten Hunter, you should if you win. All right, well, let's jump into the random card of the day before we do anything in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Jade Monolith. Wow, what an old card. It's a poly artifact. I love it. Costs 4 of any color. Pay 1. You may take damage done to any creature on yourself instead, but you must take all of it. Source of the damage is unchanged. What wordy ways to say.
Just a beautifully worded card, right?
Oh, it's perfect.
It's not Winter Orb. It's like Ice Ring or something that is the most absurdly worded Magic card.
Yeah, there are some that are just like paragraphs of text.
Just ridiculous things. So this can be like a fun history moment. Back when Magic was first starting, cards like this, this was the norm. Before Evergreen effects were the Evergreen effects, they had to list them out, stuff like that. I've not ever seen this card, but like it's a relic. What can you say?
It's a relic. It's not a good card. Let's be very clear.
No, and although I could see some funky things. Exactly, Hunter. Any red board wipes wouldn't work. Like I could see some things working out like this, or with this.
Sure.
Maybe in a commander deck, it's better than anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
there there's ways to exploit it. Do I think it's good? No, you really got to work for it, I
You
think.
really gotta try hard to make this good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it can't be good. I'm saying you just have to work really hard, and I don't think it's worth the effort when there are like
There,
easier ways to do probably just as good a thing.
yeah, there are a number of ways. Um, so I think it's fine. I think you need
Alex.
to really justify putting it. If you have like a protect the king kind of strategy, like a Voltron strategy, and you have one
Yeah.
target taking the damage, yeah, okay,
Like there are
all right,
scenarios where having this ability isn't bad. Um,
yeah,
I think so. There are a lot of reasons why I don't think this is good. In particular, one, it costs 4 mana. Granted, it's of any color, but it's like you have to pay for the effect anyway and pay for the card just to
Mhm.
play it, and it doesn't seem like a 4 mana effect, if that makes sense to me or
I'm
to
with you.
anybody else. Then you have to pay 1 mana to use the ability, which means if you're trying to bank on like needing to leave this up at any given time, you will always have to leave up at least 1 mana. Um,
Yeah,
what's cool about it is you can do this like technically as many times as you want. So like if multiple damage spells are heading your way on a creature, you can just completely, nullify all of them, but like it just isn't it's not worth the mana. Like you could do so
no,
many other things.
well, not if this is all you're doing. If you've got a way to redirect that image, or
Yeah.
whenever you take damage, deal X amount, or something like that. Like
Mhm.
there's ways that this can be exploited that are kind of nice.
Sure.
I wonder if there's a better way to do it. And there
Yeah.
probably is,
I think
but
that's a very fair point.
this this is like a card that slots into the maybe kind of pile.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Um
could be a hidden gem in the right deck, but hey,
a hidden gem. I like it. But yeah, so that was our random card of the day. That was an interesting history lesson. I love looking at old cards. That's so fun to me. Um, there's so many interesting old cards that just make no sense. But anyway, we're talking Commander Legends today. So the last time we talked about this, we only really had a handful of cards to talk about that had been confirmed. There was a lot that was leaked, most of which, if not all of which, I think has been confirmed now. But
yeah, all of it is.
just wanted to make sure that we weren't misinforming anybody, so we didn't talk about the leaks. We only talked about the stuff we knew. Now we've got a plethora of options to talk about, and I want to kind of start with the argument that we initially put out there, which was one that Commander Legends does, while it technically falls into that kind of gimmick category of like a sidebar set, doesn't feel like one. And I think both of us said no, and I think that still holds true, if not more than ever now.
Yeah. So if any of you were here for the first stream where we talked about some of the leaks and spoilers, I think a point that both of us contended was that draft is fun no matter what. So any set that's going to have limited in mind in particular is probably going to be fun in a vacuum. Sure. To make it great and not just a gimmick like Battle Bond was, you would need something to make it like worth investing in, something to make it worthwhile to pick up and buy.
Yeah.
And yeah,
This is it.
Yeah.
Corpsebine, we are going to talk specific cards. And Minecraft, dude, when you're saying printed as a standard set, it's not technically a standard set. I get what you mean. It's like an expansion, but it's not a standard expansion. This does not fall in the standard.
It doesn't go in the standard rotation.
No. This, when we say gimmick set, we're talking about like, to clarify, we're talking about like the battle bonds, we're talking about conspiracy, we're talking about those kinds of things. Some of those were more successful than others. In particular, I really liked both conspiracy sets, in fact. But those are all like the sidebar kind of gimmicky sets that are of varying degrees of success. But this technically falls into that category in that they're taking kind of a one-off thing and really pushing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, again, that's worked in the past for a few of them. And now I think we're seeing potentially the best iteration of something like that with this set, just on the onlook. I think this is just a really, really good set for a lot of different reasons, as we'll talk about with some of these specific cards as we go through. But it's very, very cool. There's a lot of like nuances in this set too that I kind of want to bring up as we go through that I just think is interesting. Where do you want to start?
Oh God, I don't know. There's just so much. Well, okay, I'll say this. I don't know how like the Commander faithful or Commander veterans, I should say, feel about it. Um,
That's a
but
good,
it looks
good
to
point.
me like this is jam packed with cards that you see all the time at a table. Cards that really stick out to me, like Rings of Bright Hearth. One of my friends has a deck that basically runs off rings.
Yeah.
You see all sorts of charms. Boros Charm, I know, is in here. You see Factor Fiction was a weird one for me, but it's in almost every blue deck that I could think
Yeah, I
of
mean, Factor
that I've
Fiction
seen in
is
Commander.
such a good card. Even
Uh,
like to the
Ready,
yeah. Um,
just
Even things like Preordained, which is such a simple common card, but it's just a nice include for Commander. You know what I'm saying? Like Findhorn Elves, a nice older reprint that's coming back. Like all of these cards are just usable for a lot of different things, and like that just makes this all the better. I think what tends to fall short in a lot of these sets is that like while there are some crazy bomb rares and some really awesome things, down to the common slot there are some really awesome things in this set. And like
oh
I
yeah.
think that has to be there to have a truly successful set. And this pulls that off. I think it does a lot of really cool things. We can talk a little bit too before we get to specific cards. I do want to mention the mechanics. There are three main mechanics in this set that I think we mentioned in the previous episode here, but something to talk about here. So Cascade, Encore is the brand new one, and then what was the other one? I completely am blanking.
Monarch
Monarch.
or
Thank you. So Cascade, obviously, kind of a fan favorite mechanic. It's been around for quite a while. We're getting a lot of the like usual culprits still for Cascade, which is great. But we're getting a lot of new stuff, which is awesome. This is being pushed harder than it has ever been pushed. And I could not be more excited. I really, really like Cascade. I think it's going to be awesome. Monarch, they also are pushing like super, super hard. To Corkspine's point, the Monarchy enchantment cycle as a whole is just sweet. The green one's very good. All of them, I think, have their relevancies, but the green one in particular is good.
The green one might be the best.
I think it probably is. I'm scrolling through now just to see. You put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. If you're the Monarch, instead you put a creature or a land card. Yeah, I mean, that's just so abusable, right?
Word. That's Emrakul. That's
Yeah.
I mean any creature you can imagine.
Um,
Oh my god. That's insane.
this is the Court of Bounty, by the way, is what we're talking about. I do have these
So
pulled up here.
like, that's good.
I mean, it's like,
Ugh.
yeah. It's pretty awesome. They really pushed. I loved the Monarch ability or the Monarch mechanic when it was first kind of announced and released into the Magic world, and like they just start taking it to a
Fun.
whole new level. Like they just were like, all right, turn up to 11, let's go, and they did very successfully already, I think. So I'm very happy with that.
It's cool. Now, if I'm wrong. Monarch is not a class to state that something happens to generate Monarch, basically. Like it's not a static thing in the game.
Yeah,
Anymore.
like you have to be like
Right.
you have to create the Monarch, as in somebody plays a card that says you become the Monarch or somebody becomes the Monarch, and then from there it can be passed around.
Okay.
Based on damage.
That's what I thought.
If you deal damage to them. Which is just sweet. Like there are so many cards that play with Monarch in this set that I am very excited to see that really get played to its fullest potential here. I think that as a multiplayer mechanic, there are a few that I think are better than Monarch, I will say. And so I'm very excited to see that. The last one is Encore, and what better example than Phyrexian Triniform, which is just a ridiculous card. 9 mana to get a 9/9. When it dies, you create 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature tokens, and then you can encore it from your graveyard for 12. You exile it from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token that's a copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste, sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step, and only activate that as a sorcery. Like, what in the world? That is just ridiculous. There's just such a cool thing here.
It just seems broken. I don't know what else to say. Like,
yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's a very powerful.
Yes.
It's great for decks that have let's say a proclivity to kind of run out of gas.
Yeah.
Kind of backup plan to always have and stay relevant. So
yeah,
good on them.
For sure.
God,
so good.
There's so much to talk about. The diamonds aren't new, are they? Those aren't new cards.
That's a reprint cycle. Whoops, there we go. Forgotten Hunter is like begging us to talk about Dimir Merfolk. So we'll talk about that really quick. We'll start there. Blank Survivor subscribed. Thanks so much, Blank Survivor. You're the best. I think you already subscribed, but we will open another pack for you. After this podcast episode, we'll do it when we have more packs in because we don't at the moment. Oh crap, we don't have a pack to open at the end of this episode. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Harami of the Dead Tide is one of the new flagship kind of Dimir Merfolk wizards here. It's a 1/4 for 1, a blue and a black. Legendary creature, so it can be your commander, obviously. Exile cards from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents that you have. Target creature card in your graveyard gains Encore until the end of the turn. The Encore cost is equal to its mana cost. So this, again, really pushing that Encore mechanic, but in just a really neat way where it's a Reanimator style strategy. And instead of like playing a card that says, hey, reanimate this thing, it's like, okay, it can be whatever you want. You got plenty of options. Do whatever you need to do. Like just a really cool kind of mechanic. And I think, again, another way to push that. Aromi actually is one of the cards that like has made a lot of top 10 lists for a lot of good reasons. Just because it does push that Encore mechanic to kind of an extreme. So very, very cool card. For sure.
And what I like especially about it in this set, like I was talking about a vacuum, if you want to take it as your commander in the limited flavor of Commander Legends, they gave you so many great blue and black creatures to Encore.
Yeah.
Like there are so many fat, thick blue creatures. I think Shipbreaker Kraken was in one. There's Brynolin the Moon Kraken. I haven't seen that card before, actually. I don't know where it's from. It's the 6/8 for 8 when it enters the battlefield, or whenever you catch it with CMC 6 or greater, you may return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
so good. Kidding? How crazy. Like, such a powerful card.
I think that as your commander is going to just... maybe not even for its effect, but that deck will spank, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the fact that it has partner, it doesn't have to be your only one. Yeah. Partner also was kind of a big mechanic that was pushed here. I did kind of forget to mention that. But
I mentioned my favorite card from the set so far as well.
Partner, what's your favorite card?
My favorite card from the set is the Amphinologist Gore Moldrak. He's so funny.
What?
He's so funny.
What is this?
He is a one generic, one green, one blue, 3/2 legendary creature.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Says you cards you control have protection from salamanders. That's important. At the beginning of your end step, each player who controls the fewest creatures creates a 4/3 salamander warrior creature token.
Here we go.
So essentially, what this card does is just like give the other 3 people a toy and is like, hey, deal with it. There's just a creature every turn. So there you go. Have fun with it.
Is this
but they can't attack you with it.
But they can't attack you with it. So is this like a is this group hug? Like, does this lead to a group hug deck where you just start giving people a bunch of stuff?
Right? It's like giving people a threat.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect you at all. And obviously it's on a stick. You can swords it
Oh, you
easily,
can
but
do a
I'm just saying
million things with it. Yeah. But that's so I mean, that's
it's
so
just so
silly.
yeah, that's my favorite. It's so dumb. There's always got to be one card in a
Yeah.
commander set I feel like that is just redonkulous, and I think that's the one.
We found it.
It's just nonsense.
Well, let's
There you go.
let's talk about a
That's
point of contention. That's
okay. I think there could be a few with this set, honestly.
do what?
I think there could be a few points of contention
Oh, okay.
in the set.
Well, let's talk about the
Um,
biggest.
there's
uh,
four.
Jeweled Lotus,
So
guys.
why did I was gonna make a joke. It's fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Totally perfect.
No. I was like, oh, why did they put Xenagos in? I don't know. I was gonna be something. It was gonna be something dumb. But
Will,
yeah,
Will, you're cute.
Gilded Lotus. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Because I think I've already expressed to you what mine are. I haven't heard what yours are.
It's a very interesting card. So here's my thing. Yeah, Alex is just going ham. Yeah, Jeweled Lotus is.
He loved it.
He didn't like it at first, if I'm not mistaken. Alex, correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah, he loves it.
He likes it now, I think. No.
I thought Alex was in the band Soul Ring camp. I could be wrong. Don't smirch his name, but
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
speak for you, Alex.
I don't feel like he would like it. That's
He has to play it but doesn't like it. Yeah, that kind of sums it up. This is very much a must include for Commander. I mean, this is now your new staple. Welcome. Your deck count got or the number of open slots in your deck, I should say, got one less. This will be included. And it's a very, very powerful card for obvious reasons, but Forgotten Hunter, to your point, you like it, but it's not overpowered. I think inherently 90% of the time it's not going to be as bad as people think. However, there is a percentage that will put it over the top, and what I mean by that is, like, there are going to be situations where you can just actively start playing your commander like 2 to 3 turns before you necessarily should, and I think because of that option that will be available to you because of a card like this, it will lead to some crazy broken games in a very quick way, and that's the problem. That's why I think people are really just concerned with this card. I don't know. I think it's a really good card. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. I think, again, 90% of the time it's not going to make as big a difference as people are thinking.
I kind of think so. There's a lot of ways to abuse it, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of artifact focus, artifact engine kind of deck likes an artifact that you can sacrifice. You get a lot of play out of the graveyard from bringing artifacts back, sacking them. They also like any artifact that's free.
Yeah.
This is free.
Yeah.
That's, I think, one of the bigger problems with this is not limiting this to a to a mana cost. It's not restricting it in any way.
Right.
You know, it's tap sack for free.
Well, let's be clear, like Storm decks, for instance. Granted, I know that's a particular subset of decks, but like this is a free count on their Storm count, and like they're a deck that churns through it, and so they will probably see this at some point during their game if they get the opportunity to kind of start going off. And so while this isn't going to make or break it, it's going to add just a little bit of ease to that deck, I think.
Yeah, not even to Storm, just decks that can break. Decks that would break a card like this just got insanely good, I think. It's talking about what it does to deck building. I think the games that you don't see a Jeweled Lotus and your opponents do are going to feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
This is insanely powerful within like the first 3 to 4 turns. I think it it probably peaks at turn 3 because that's when
It
really
definitely,
represent the maximum amount of
yeah, I mean, it definitely has diminishing
life.
returns. Like, I mean, you look at a card like this, obviously, and you guys are kind of talking about it in chat as well. Like, obviously, it's good at ramping out your commander, and that's awesome. But, you know, turn 8 or something like that, do you really need to ramp out your commander anymore? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, you
That's
can just do it. So,
what Proxy is saying is kind of my point. It's not this isn't necessarily a card you see in every deck, but the decks that can use and abuse a card like this, good God, they
yeah,
get really good.
yeah.
There's a commander who's can really just get stupid. It might be Urza I'm thinking of that can get really nasty.
Yeah.
Not that listen, early turn wins in commander are very hard to pull off. I think, and there's decks that have that have made it work. But that being said,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's opened the door for a turn 1 win.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't feel good. I think that this isn't necessarily going to be as bad as Sol Ring, honestly, because it is just commander,
Yes.
right? You can only cast mana to play your commander, so that's not as bad, right? Sol
Yeah,
Ring
and
is
I think
everything.
that's a very important distinction here is that, like, so you look at how often you use the mana from Sol Ring, for instance, in a game. You know, you might overall generate maybe say 10 mana. It's probably more than that, but I'm just saying, like, throughout a game, you'll tap it, use 2 of that mana to play something. You do that 5 times, you've all of a sudden generated 10 mana throughout the game with 1 card.
Yeah.
This will generate 3, albeit colored mana, that can only be used to spend on your commander. There are pretty heavy restrictions there that are very inherent, and somebody pointed it out earlier on in chat. You know, for the 4 and 5 color commanders, this helps, but it's not actually as helpful as you would think because it all has to be the same color anyway.
Well,
it's not going to be good in that, as good, I will say, in that deck as it would be a monocolored commander or even just a dual colored or something.
That's fair. I think, yeah, it's restrictive like that, and that helps it. I think what is the? Hold on, I'm trying to think of the commander here. It's the Esper Sphinx.
Oh, well, there's a couple, I think, but not Steelwind, is it?
The big win, the big one.
Alex, help him out. You know the commanders.
No, Sharum, the Hegemon.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's colored mana, but you get to pay for half of Sharum's cost if you want, because it's got 3 generic. So fuck
That's
it.
fair.
Whenever Sharum enters the battlefield, you just get it back.
Yeah.
Automatically. And so, yeah, they can then kill Sharum, but
you just get
now
you've got the enabler to play it again.
Yeah, very quickly. The decks that this is going to be good in, it's going to be great in. Some decks don't really care.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
it's gonna feel bad when this becomes the engine for certain decks, but that doesn't always happen.
Right.
Sure. So I don't know. I'm torn.
I mean, time will obviously tell, but I honestly think the majority of the time this is just going to be a pretty good card. I don't think it's going to be as backbreaking as people think. It will lead to that as an option, and certainly that will happen. So, like, don't get me wrong in saying obviously this is a good card, but I don't think the majority of the time it's going to play out that way. You still have a 1 in 100 chance. Like, that's kind of or a 1 in 99. So I don't know. I'm not as like worried or anything like that as I think some people seem to be.
No, and it's gonna split the decks it hits. I think it's going to a lot. Like in the beginning, a lot of decks, and then not so many.
Yeah.
As time goes on.
Yeah.
But it's really, really great in the decks it go to.
Yeah.
But all that being said, I think it will be fine most of the time. It's not going to break casual games.
Right.
I think it could be very like dangerous in competitive games.
Sure.
But hey, I'm not a competitive EDH player. It's a stretch to say I'm an EDH player.
I was gonna say, I don't know that either of us are like very big EDH players, to be honest. While we have played before.
The last time I've played plenty of times. I don't play right now.
Yes.
I mean, pandemic and all, but I don't play right now. So,
Alex,
if you don't talk about the two cards that are going to be banned, what cards are going to be banned?
I'm guessing I know one of them. Hold on, let me get to it. Oh, talk amongst yourselves. I'm guessing Opposition Agent is potentially one of them. Opposition Agent is a 3/2 for 2 and a black with Flash, Human, Rogue. You control your opponents while they are searching their libraries. That's kind of an insane line of text. Let's be very clear. When an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remained exiled. You may spend mana as though it were a mana of any color to cast those spells. So there is a combo with this, and Alex, help me out because you know the cards better than I do. What was the combo card that had like a buyout because of this? There is a combo where you just there we go, the Morn Song. Let me pull this up really quick. Hold on. This is no, there we go. I spelled it wrong. Sorry. Okay. Maryland of the Morn Song. It's a 2/3. Players can't draw cards. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches his or her library for a card, puts it into his or her hand, then shuffles his or her library. If you don't get how this works out together, essentially you fucked the opponent completely. They are done. They're out. This is insane. This is kind of a ridiculous card. I'm kind of with you, Alex. I definitely think there is a world where this gets banned quickly. Will, did you not know about this?
Look, I did not see Opposition Agent. I saw Marlin, and I'm not.
I made a proxy of Opposition Agent just because. I mean, obviously, it was a good call, I thought. Also, I'm pouring another glass of scotch, so there it is.
Opposition Agent is the big one.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's the bad boy.
Yeah, because it's you control them while they search their deck. That's stupid.
So here is my question.
Alex, tell me the first while Will is talking.
The language of Opposition Agent has me like confused. Here's why.
Is it
you may exile each card they.
So whatever they choose, you get to exile it.
No,
but you get to choose it.
That's the thing. Is they haven't called it. Yes, but they haven't called it like find a card before. Search your library for a card. They haven't connected that with find. That's like a rules lawyer thing that I'm.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Bouncing my head again. It's not probably that relevant, but I'm just.
Go ahead. I'm looking this up.
I'm just wondering how that fits into the rules because every time they find, linguistically, they found their whole deck. But that doesn't work.
I see what you mean.
You know
that's not how that works, though. Let's be very clear.
I refuse.
No,
it should say, they exile the card they select or something, or like they exile the card. It needs to change. Yeah, because that's dirty.
It is a bit of a dirty card. Alex, I'm kind of with you. I think this is ban worthy, especially with the combo. I think that's ridiculous.
The other card isn't. While that's very mean. We'll talk about it's like specifics. It's a 2/3 for 1. So any red spell worth playing in Commander that does damage can. So the Marlin, I don't think is that bad. It's a stick. You can exile it.
Yeah, there are ways to deal with
Like
that.
you can kill it. You can go search for the thing that will kill it. It's okay.
Well, that's the thing about
like
this.
You'll take a turn off.
You now all of a sudden, if anything, this is like a card that I would not, on its own, let me be very clear, I wouldn't even necessarily want to play, because the reality is whatever advantage I have set up, advantage engines I have set up on the field at that point, like they now just get to find. No, Maryland. If I just have that on the field, like all of a sudden now, instead of just drawing a random card, they get to pick whatever card they need from their deck and deal with everything in one shot.
Right.
And like that seems like the worst idea ever. However, with opposition agent,
like,
obviously, yes, Alex, yeah, that's a big part of this too, is the hidden information. You do get to look at their hand, you do get to see what all they've got. And that's important. I think that's part of why this makes it so good.
Does it though?
Yeah, you control them, so you get to play like instants from their hand as you would like to, that kind of thing.
No, here's the thing. While they're searching their libraries.
Oh, I see.
So that's not letting you, because while they're searching their library,
you can't cast spells. Yeah, Alex, I was wrong there. But you get their info. I'm with Alex there.
Oh, I don't know if you do.
Well,
like you control them, but they can't cast a spell. You control them while they search their library. You can't take actions. I don't think that means you get to look at their hand. Like I don't. If they've said it does, fine. Seems like nonsense. Because why would you look at their hand?
Yes, like hands, face down permanents, face down. Yeah. Everybody is saying on Reddit, at least. Not that Reddit should be a.
Reddit delineate.
Do what?
Like, if Wizards says it, so be it. I don't care what Reddit says.
Yeah, Alex, grab it.
I'm just let Wizards say it, because that doesn't make sense. Because you control them while they're like performing a part of the spell. You can't take actions on the stack at that point. I mean,
you can't take actions, but if you control a player, I mean, looking at their hand isn't an action, but if you're playing as if you are them, then you have the ability to look at that at any time. So I mean, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I guess that does.
It's not taking an action towards the game, you're just looking at your hand. At that point, if you are the opponent, you literally are just looking at your hand. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, most people do during that time to figure out the best thing they could pull out of their deck anyway. So
yeah, 100%. That's just an interesting rules question. Like,
sure, no, I'm with you, but I definitely think they get to look at it. All that to say, opposition agent is stupid.
Oh yeah, fuck this card. This card's disgusting.
Let's move on to Alex's other card that he thinks is going to get banned. Apex Devastator. Interesting one. It's 8 and 2 green for a 10/10, which triggers Cascade 4 times.
I love it.
Alex, can I ask why? Just out of curiosity. I mean, obviously it's a good card. Don't get me wrong. Do what?
Like, it will cascade. Is it just because of it cascades so much?
I don't.
Poor baby Paradise. Yeah, it's fine. This is just so good.
This is just really fun. Why shouldn't it exist?
It shouldn't exist. Of course it should exist.
This is great.
Of course it should exist. Look at this sweet Hydra.
This is just a cool freaking card, dude. This shouldn't be banned. It's just fun. Naga Wizard. All right, Alex. We're rabbit holing everybody. Well, that didn't. Oh, you're talking about literally. Hold on. You said I literally looked up Naga Wizard because I'm a dumbass. All right, hold on. I know what it is. This guy. Cascade. It's a 3/1 for 3, a green and a blue. It has Cascade. Spells you cast with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade, so you can do it 5 times. But I don't really understand why that's all that bad.
Love it.
That's
Give
just
them all the
cooler. Like, would you Cascade when you see this card, Apex?
No.
Would you concede, excuse me? No, I wouldn't.
What would I concede if they cascade into some bullshit? Maybe.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, it depends what they cascade into, but like, you can't build a deck around cards. Like, there is only, in my mind, there's only one way to like 100% break this card, which would be to cascade into 4 very specific things that will always win you the game. Like, I don't know what those 4 cards are. It doesn't matter. They just have to be less than 10 mana. But the important distinction is a lot of other cards in your deck also are going to have to be less than 10 mana. So that can't happen reliably. That's my thing. Well, if it's not powerful, Alex, then I don't understand, Alex. While I think it's really good, I don't.
What do you mean it's?
It doesn't make games long.
What, Cascade?
End games. Alex, I think you might just be wrong on this one.
What are you talking about, dude? My guy.
Alex.
It's not powerful. It makes games long. It's not powerful. It's a 10/10 on its own. Like,
it's called 94 lands. Forgotten Hunter, I think you'll find that strategy won't work very well. Surprising, I know, but I don't think that will work very well. Yeah, I don't.
If you can consistently all again.
Maelstrom Wanderer is 2 Cascade. And it... Yeah.
Do you play with absolute wieners?
Like, I was gonna say, I don't actually think that.
What are you talking about?
Simic Turns is a good example of a card that could take some pressure on this, but at the same time, like, they're looking to take 1,000,000 turns anyway. That's just gonna happen at some point. So I don't really find this to be the problem card in that area.
Man.
Alex, I'm gonna respectfully, yeah, I love this card. I'm gonna respectfully disagree. It's very good.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about a couple reprints really quick, if I may. Just some really interesting ones. Scroll Rack is a card that we have not seen reprinted for some time. I think since its original printing, I think we did have one like Judge promo kind of version. But this is a pretty big reprint, I think. It's a very good card for a lot of different decks, in particular a lot of Storm decks, which are close to my heart. And so I'm excited to see that. Another pretty big one, though, is Staff of Domination, which I know a lot of people were like, holy shit, it's coming back. Yes, Staff of Domination it's a pretty cool card, I think. It does a lot of stuff, obviously. It kind of can, manipulate and be flexible to whatever you need it to be, which is great. Rings of Bright Hearth, Hearth, very good. I was trying to think, there was 1 or 2 other ones, but those are actually, most of the big ones I thought were artifacts. Scroll Rack is like by far the one I'm most excited for. I did look at like a couple different top 10 lists just to see what everybody was really stoked about. Scroll Rack actually made a number of those. Oh, Vamp Tutor, thank you. And Mana Drain, both of these actually. Yes, Vamp Tutor is here. Mana Drain's very good. That's it. That's all I had to say. We can end it now.
I think they knocked it out. This fucking set.
Like, yeah, it's freaking sweet, dude. It's so good. Like,
there's not a lot.
I also wanted to look at, like, so the cycles here are really interesting. So when I said there are a lot of really interesting things about this set other than just the power level of the cards, one thing that I really liked about all of the like the big legends, I will say the mono-colored big legends. Let's be as specific as I can be. Like Akroma, Shima, Tavesh Zat, Jeska, and then Kamal. All are like either cards that have been printed before but were like older generally, or are references to cards that have never been printed. There were actually a number of legends that are like, we finally got cards for. Like Sakashima, we've had before, but we've got a new version now. Jessica has been like this really old school card that did have a printing in red for a long time. All that kind of stuff. It just so sweet. The new Black Planeswalker never. It's been referenced on multiple cards, but never actually like shown. And so we finally got it. And it's like, I just love thematically the fact that they did so many of those little things. Like, I think that makes it really fun. I know they do that in a lot of sets. Krark, the Thumbless, I think is great. Like, just the thematic side of it is, like, pretty cool. I'm glad that they threw a lot of those kinds of things in there, because there really is a lot. Sengir, the Dark Baron, is a cool one. Just interesting stuff. I know that that's like not very well thought out and in depth on my end of a point to make, but the fact is they just did a really cool job of referencing a lot of like either older cards or bringing in some cards that, you know, have been talked about before but we've never truly had. And so I'm just glad that they did stuff like that. I think they did a really cool job there.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add to that.
No, you shouldn't. It wasn't a very good point. I just wanted to make it.
I think it's a fine point. I'm just saying, I think that they really finally made a great supplemental set that is like,
oh yeah,
not bullshit.
Wheel of Misfortune, Minecraft dude. Thank you. Yes, that one's a good one.
Everyone loves a good wheel. Everyone loves a good wheel.
Yeah, this one's a funny one too.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Overall though, this set is great. Like, let's bring it back here for a second. This deck, or excuse me, this set, not only has powerful cards, has a lot of really awesome mechanic pushes that I think are great, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on it. That's all I can say. I'm not even a true EDH player, but like the fact that this is just so freaking good makes it really enticing. And my hope is, my hope is that, you know, all the people who already play EDH get a lot of cool new toys to play with. All the people who are not into EDH now have an avenue as a set, not just as a like pre-constructed deck, but as a set that they can go in and toy around with a little bit more, and just draft and hopefully kind of get their feet wet in the EDH world. I think this is a very, very, very good step in that direction.
Yeah, I agree. This will get a lot of people who are on the fence. Not that, come on,
yeah.
But anyone who's thought about playing Commander but hasn't, but has like some money to throw at it, this is a great set to get into.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Really quick in chat, are there any cards that you guys really wanted to talk about? Forgotten Hunter, I saw you said Kodama of the East Tree. I did actually see that card before we jumped in this. Let me pull it up here. Alex, you've got two.
Kodama
Alex, of the East Tree.
I'm trying to find the...
is 4 and 2 green for a 6/6. It has reach. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you can put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield, and then it has partner as well. This is a very good card in just big dumb green decks, but also I'm sure a lot of abusable ways. What I like about this card is it just adds value to like every other permanent in your deck. It, you know, as long as you've got something else in your hand that has a lesser converted mana cost, you just all of a sudden get double the I can't think of what the value. Goodness, I could not think of the word value. You just get double the value.
I could.
So good. All right.
I'm still rules about this rogue.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about a few others as we're going through.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Son of Raga. Oh, this is cool. I actually just picked up the old legend. Son of Raga, 0 mana for a 0/1. First strike, menace, and trample, and it has partner. Yes. It's the Kobold Warrior. It is a cool card. I mean, it's like a very, very good Voltron commander, right? Like, you just get to pile stuff onto this and pay its cost for 0. The fact that it has partner is good, because like the cool thing about this is because you could partner it with something that like deals with equipments or something like that. You could I don't know, there's probably something there that you could make happen, but maybe there's I don't know the generals well enough to know if there's like an equipment pull or anything like that, but if you could get something out with it like that, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
And then Sakashima. Yeah, Sakashima is very good. You could post a list, Alex, I'm sure. Sakashima is very good. 3 and a blue for a 3/1. When it enters the battlefield, it comes in as a copy of another creature you control, except it has every other ability that Sakashima has. The legend rule does not apply to permanents you control, which just means in Commander, first of all, it also has partner. But this is a really cool example of like taking a basic fundamental rule in Magic and just saying, no, we can do whatever we want. Magic obviously has a history of doing that.
Yeah.
But
it's nice. But
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm just saying, in Commander, like, what does it really do?
I think it allows you to copy multiple of your partnered commander.
But yeah, you can copy a bunch of things, but the singleton rule still applies. So unless you're copying your partner, that's break stuff.
Yes, I mean there are ways I think you could abuse this, but like I don't know. I think it's very good. I think it will get a lot of play, but it's going to be an interesting one. Hey, Ace, E-Ace, I don't know. Welcome. Glad you finally could catch a stream. Clones are already viable, but to the point of what he's trying to what Will's trying to say, and Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can make clones viable for specifically legendaries or commanders or whatever. So there's some really cool interaction there.
It's fine. I'm not impressed.
You can't post links, Alex.
To be honest, I don't
just a heads up. He tried.
Sorry.
You're good. I think you're lagging a bit, Will.
Well, boo.
I know. It's fine. But yeah, so lots of cool cards, though.
You can just do that.
Can chat people still click on them? No, Alex. We just completely block links. We had some spam stuff that popped up every once in a while, so we just did away with it. I was looking through if there's any like major cards that I really wanted to talk about. Your thoughts on Commander Legend precons? I actually have not looked at the precons. I'll be honest. Let's actually do that. Yeah, Will, you're also frozen on the video. You've been frozen like this whole time.
Hang up and call me back.
I don't want to do that. I'm gonna miss you.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm out of ideas.
I'm out of ideas. Yeah. Call Comporium, is that what you said?
Punch them in the head. But
okay, so this is honestly the first time I've like truly looked at the precons. I do know that this Simic precon is like kind of stupid as far as the commander goes. Let's see. Some cool stuff in here. Oh, Eternal Witness is in. Yeah, we were talking about Eternal Witness. It's in the precons, which is pretty cool. All right.
Is that regular rotation or no? I guess not.
No, this is just separate to the set.
Got it.
So they did Boros and then they did Simic. That's interesting. Whenever a attacks or an equipment attached to it. Oh, that's pretty good. So it's like a Voltron thing. that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, they look cool. Like, I actually really like the commander for the Simic one for a lot of reasons, but I'm less inclined to play Boros in general, so I'll be honest and say I'm not tremendously excited there. But
both white being, I mean, be the worst color in Commander.
yeah, I think pretty widely considered the worst, right?
As it should be, yeah. But I think Simic gets to do just everything he'd want to do in Commander anyway. So
yeah, no, I'm with it. Still cool though. We'll probably do a giveaway for them.
Sure.
At some point. All right, Alex said it. Boros is the worst color combo, so it's true, guys. We've figured it out.
Yeah. No, I believe it. You pair like the worst color white with so-so color red.
Yeah.
Red can do some great things, but
usually red works really well in tandem with other things, and white just seems like not the best.
Red has really, really good cards in terms of really, really good decks. I don't know. It's powerful, but I don't know about. Want to pick up some? Oh, well, that's us. Never mind. Right.
Yeah,
yes,
but Alex,
but
that's like saying about you can counter any spell if you have a counter spell. Like, duh.
Yeah.
But no, every color every color combination, every monocolor deck, every whatever, it can be good. There's nothing wrong with that. And certainly for any of you white players out there, that's not to say that the color that you've chosen is your life decision. Not that it is, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I just think that generally speaking, it's just less powerful, less consistent for sure.
I mean, I don't think there's like it's not going to matter at the end of the day. If you're playing a good deck and it's white, it's just a good deck that has white in it. It's fine.
And honestly, like, unless you're a competitive player, let me be very clear in saying the goal of any game, whether it's Magic or not, is to just have fun playing.
Is to break your pride. So if you don't have an infinite prison combo, rebuild your deck.
What is
that right?
Doing? Yeah, that's right. That's perfect.
That's it, right?
Yep, that's it. You did it.
Right?
Way to be there.
And
CEDH, Alex, yes. Okay, it's competitive Commander. I get it. I'm saying in non-competitive.
You're trying to opponents. You're trying to push them. Bug. Coming from someone who does not win very often. So.
In EDH or just in general?
In general, I mean.
You beat me in disc golf regularly.
Yeah. I have beaten you in disc golf.
I've been practicing, Will.
But
we'll talk about that.
Have you? That's excellent.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Very nice.
Well, we don't actually have a... Well, first of all, I guess I should say, are there any other cards or anything else that you guys in chat want to talk about for Commander Legends in particular? Will, is there anything that you feel we missed? Anything you'd like to mention as we wrap up kind of our just general discussion on Commander Legends?
Everything is just so good in here. Opposition Agent needs to be banned. That's all. Like, buy the set, open the packs.
Yeah.
Get good. That's all.
It is a very good set for a lot of reasons. So I do encourage everybody, if you can, to pick it up. I know we're delayed, so we're getting it towards the end of November. But like I said, if anybody isn't following and would like to, you will get, if you decide to, you get a free entry for a free box. So just a heads up there. And good luck to everybody. I know a lot of people here are already subscribed or following, so we certainly appreciate it. And if nobody has anything else and we don't have a pack to open, Will, is there anything you just want to chat about before we wrap this episode up?
So much, but white. Uh, oh, I'm finally playing D&D again for the
Really?
longest time.
With who?
Yeah. Um, Sarah actually, and some of
What?
my sister's friends. And her. Yeah.
No way. I did not know that Sarah played D&D.
She hasn't before. This will be her first time. This is everyone's first adventure, D&D adventure.
Are you DMing?
Um, yes.
That's probably a good thing.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I play tons, but uh, yeah, this is their first, and I I'm really excited about it. We're doing it in Innistrad, so that should be fun.
Oh, that's really cool.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a great
Dude,
time.
that's awesome. Oh, I really hope
Um,
it goes well. I hope Sarah enjoys it.
we did try once before with some. Yeah, man. Yes, Alex, Sarah. She's trying it. Um, trying it. She's excited to try. So
Good
I
for
saw her in the
Sarah.
background there.
What a sweetheart.
Oh, hey, it's gonna be an excellent time.
Yeah.
But it's also the first virtual D&D I've ever ran,
Oh,
so
that's a
that
little
part's gonna be
tricky.
a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on Zoom, and I'll probably use Roll20 for encounters.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like give everybody baby steps of what they need to know,
Yeah.
and not just here you
I've
go.
I have found D&D in the past to
Yeah.
be a bit overwhelming. And due to the overwhelming
The
nature,
yeah.
I stopped caring very quickly. As you well know, because the last time
Here.
I played was with you.
Oh yeah, but so that was a whole exercise in futility. I tried to do way too much.
Yeah.
Um, it just wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't a fun time. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot better this time especially. Um, I so here's the thing about D&D. I don't think if done correctly, D&D is overwhelming. I don't think. Um, so if you can find a way to make lessons and like the rule stuff seem organic, like we haven't talked at all about combat. Nobody knows how combat works in D&D yet in this game. So
That's going to be
when
fun.
we get there, oh, it's going to be a breeze. When we get there, it's going to be very simple at first, and we're just going to like, this is the how a combat round is structured. This is what initiative is,
Mm-hmm.
and here you're. We're also playing in 5e, and 5e is very simple, but leaves a lot of room to be very cool, I think.
Okay.
Um,
I like that.
so, yeah, 3.5 is what I've done, is what I've used in the past, and good God, introducing someone to D&D like with 3.5 is a mistake. I mean, 2 is a mistake, but 5e is a great, just chef's kiss is a
Yeah.
great addition. It's gonna be a great time.
I really hope you guys
I
have a
can't
fun
talk.
time. That's awesome.
We will. We will.
That's really
will.
cool.
I'm trying so very hard not to just rip off of other DMs that I know
Yeah.
and love very much, but some encounters be very reminiscent of starting science with quantum physics. It's not as bad as 2. It's not as bad as 2. It doesn't have THACO, THACO. So THACO, just without talking about it too much, THACO is an equation you have to know in order to hit something. It's to hit armor class 0, and it just gets ridiculous. Like, it's dumb. So, that being said, everyone should play D&D. It's very fun.
Cheers.
Kevin, you should play D&D, but
I would love
something.
to. I just like, I'm a very visual person. A lot of what I like about Magic, as you can see behind me, is the collection aspect, because I get to like look through the cards and enjoy the physical card. That's part of why I didn't do much gameplay on Arena for so long, was because it was way less interesting that I couldn't hold a physical card. I could still see it, and that
Yeah.
makes it fun. But like I tend to be a very visual person, and so there's something that like D&D, while you can obviously do like, maps and figures and that kind of thing, like not saying you can't do it that way, but I got very overwhelmed by the like information I felt I had to know. Um and I think that might have been a product of it maybe not being done as simply as possible for my puny mind at the time. Um because
Okay.
I've tried multiple times, to be very clear. Will is not the first person I've played D&D with, but I just didn't truly like grasp it and really enjoy it. And I also like,
That was
I don't know. I don't like to
yeah.
play, to your point, Alex, I don't like to play the like brute force characters and that kind of stuff. It's just not fun for me. Um I'm I like to be involved in a lot of things. And so it's I don't know. If I gave it another shot, I'm sure I would enjoy it more.
Well, I did. I think I did everyone a disservice by that was the first time I had truly homebrewed something,
Yeah.
and like every homebrew DM, I was like, I need to know everything at once.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a stone unturned. It's a mystery. Like I had to. I planned so much, and
Yeah.
I didn't like have. I also was not a part of character creation. Like that's a mistake. So
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about. I knew about your backstory, but you and I made a character together. But beyond that,
Yeah. No, I'm with
um,
you.
I had a really great DM a while back who was a part of everyone's character creation. Like he and I went out to coffee, and he was like, "All right, so this is the setting. These are the classes everyone else is playing, but like, what do you want to do?"
Yeah.
So we picked a class, and then we just talked about the backstory right there. Like we just wrote a character.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the really clever thing, it was great because there was something interesting in the campaign for everybody to like care about.
Mm-hmm.
So in our campaign, we were, like the sons of fallen gods, and uh, we each had like a mission we wanted to. We didn't really know it at the time, but like some part of a prophecy we had to fulfill,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all tied into our backstory.
Oh, that's cool.
And so that's a really rewarding thing
Yeah.
to happen. So
No, I like that. I
good
think
DMs entirely.
if
That's all
here's
I'm
what I
saying.
will say, Will, I'm gonna propose this idea to you. I'm gonna
Hit
propose
me
to you. No. Um,
again.
if again, if Sarah finds that she likes it, I would
Okay.
suggest that we try and get Caitlin in on it, and the four of us
Ooh,
play as a small, tight knit group. Because last time we all
yes.
hung out, we played disc golf, and I loved it. And I know Caitlin loved it. It
It
seemed
was a
like
great.
Sarah enjoyed it, and I know you did. So like, if we could all four do it as like a safe space, quote unquote, group, um, I think if
Sure.
we could get Caitlin enjoying it and then myself enjoying it as well, then all of a sudden now I'm
Abs-
invested for myself, but also my fiance. So I would care more.
I'm more on board than you want me to be with that.
Perfect.
Um, so I'll let you know in a couple weeks how Sarah's feeling about it.
Okay.
I have every confidence that she'll love it.
I hope so. I really do. I love that Sarah is trying it. That's awesome.
Hey, I think it's one of the best games you can play. And Kevin, I don't believe that the visual aspect holds you back. Here's why. You're an avid reader, and
I
not
would
just
not
like
say avid.
I'm sorry, who show of hands, who has read and reread 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea for fun? Anyone out there?
That's a good book.
Okay, but so much of the book is technical, uh, is like descriptive in that way that classic books always are, where you need to have a mind's eye to figure it out.
I mean,
right?
yeah,
Not
I
only
get
that,
it, but
but you are an artist, and to be such, you have to have a vision, at least in some way, of what you want the product to look like in
I,
the end,
I mean,
right?
yes, like there's
You
an end goal, I suppose.
can imagine, like, I want this to look this way, right?
Yeah,
So
I think though where I get caught up is like, okay, so like if I have a final product in my mind, okay, whether that's like an art piece, a proxy, a graphic for it result, whatever I'm making, my thing is, okay, I need
sorry, really quick, Alex. I think Sarah would be a great DM. Just saying. I think she'd be awesome.
I think she would be hilarious as a DM. I would love to see that. Anyway, but like there are like it's a very step-by-step process to get to the final thing. Like and I know those steps and I understand that like playing D&D can be very similar in that way. There are steps, there are rules, there are like you roll for initiative and then you roll your attack. Like I get the general concept, but I just feel like
Yep.
at every turn I don't actually know what I'm doing. And because I like to be in control, I get very like, okay, I'm not interested because I don't feel like I know what I'm doing.
Know what you're doing in terms of what you can do or what you should be doing.
Yes.
Okay. So what you can do is very simple.
Anything.
Basically within reason.
But see,
Um,
I like constraints. I
the,
don't
well,
like no constraints.
I think so there aren't no constraints, right? There are rules to everything. And like logic dictates a lot of it.
Yeah.
You can say, I want to push this house over as a gnome. You could be a gnome ranger and you're like, I want to try to push the house over. Fuck it, roll for it. It's
Yeah.
a DC 100. So you need to roll higher than a 100 with your strength modifier. Go ahead. So
Yeah.
like you can try anything. Just like you could go outside and try to push your house down, but you can't.
Well, I
You
haven't
know, a
tried.
good
You
DM.
don't know that. I haven't rolled yet.
Fair. Uh, I don't know. You can a good DM makes it seem like everything is possible without letting chaos happen.
Yeah.
Like, um, it's tricky. You can't just like turn your players loose and have them just run about and do their own fucking thing. That's a whole other
Yeah.
mess. You invested in the story,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where backstories come in. That's why they care about their characters.
Sure.
Uh, and you have to give them like very clear goals. Uh, a lot of the times, the goal is you see monster kill monster. Someone stole the princess, save the princess. It's shit like that. That's easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes there's a mystery and figure it out in this imaginary room that you can't see. You have to kind of have that like riddle solving process in your head. And if like you, Kevin, if someone gets very bored of that sort of thing, like I want to solve problems, and if they're not happening quick enough, I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's when you get invested in the story. Take something that they like from them
Yeah.
and make them want to get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I would try it again, but I still think the idea of getting the four of us together would be a fun starting point.
Oh, we're doing it.
I'm down.
Look, it's happening.
I might have to convince Caitlin a bit, which means you might have to convince Caitlin a bit. Just a heads up.
Sure. Oh, yeah. It's the best game ever. It's easy.
Well, really quickly, not to move off of D&D, but I do want to talk to you really quickly about some disc golf.
Stream it.
Stream it? I'd be down.
Maybe
if Sarah
not.
and Caitlin were involved, like we would have to be,
We would. I don't think we would stream it if Sarah and Caitlin were involved, but
I don't
maybe.
think so.
Maybe that's an It Resolves community thing.
Mm.
Maybe. I'm not putting that into the aether just yet, but maybe.
I've already kind of spoiled the idea of a community day at one point.
Oh, well, that's fine. I just mean like maybe us and the mods
Yeah.
play a monthly virtual D&D. I don't know.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't want to.
I
I'm
will
not saying it's a
say,
done deal.
Lady Ziggy, who is one of our new mods, does a lot of D&D. She like runs a group and like does a bunch of stuff there, and she DMs for them. She, from my understanding, does a really good job. Lady Ziggy is awesome, by the way. You should go check her out if you haven't. Well,
DMs?
what?
If she DMs, I think it's a done deal.
Yeah.
I can really only game it once, but I can care about multiple characters. So.
All right, I have to move off this because I have to talk to you about disc golf. Because Caitlin and I have been getting really like a lot of strides have been made to get better at disc golf recently. Caitlin and I have been playing a lot. We go out like multiple times a week. We are like trying to get her to a point, because you and I mean, we played out there with her at one point, and like you saw, she's good. Like she's got a good starting point. She just has to get a little bit more like flat and a little bit more consistent with things, and then start getting that power behind it.
She's feel comfortable with it too. She was having like,
yes.
I think some like she just needs to play more.
Yeah,
and that's not a cop-out answer. She just needs to play more, but like she needs to get comfortable.
Yes. And she's getting there. And so we kind of like looked at, you'll enjoy this. I've been watching pro disc golf, which is like the nerdiest possible thing I think I have ever done. And I
pull up the YouTube app on my smart TV and I will watch it.
It's like kind of intriguing. But I've learned so much. And like I've been trying different discs, so we've been going to Play It Again games and like picking up a variety of things just to try.
Did you get a harp?
Did I get a what?
Did you get a harp?
I have not gotten a harp yet. I actually didn't see that they had a harp. I did look. I did not find one.
Almost every Play It Again sport stocks harps.
I didn't see one at the time.
For a harp. Do you guys have harps? And get a fucking harp. I will ask.
What I have bought, I bought recently, a Rock 3, which I love.
Good.
I did get a Mako 3, which is my like go-to disc for just straight shots. It's just so clean, and it just does exactly what you want it to do. I love it.
That's that disc I threw on the hole where we noticed the tree had come down at Boyd.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you stable?" Yoink. No, you're not. You're not anything.
It's so straight. It's lovely. I got a Fairway Leopard 3, which I thought I would try out. It's actually really cool too. The plastic is like rainbowed, so it just looks cool.
Right. I have
so I had an old like, is it DX or RX Leopard, like the intro plastic? DX, thank you. And it like, I never really threw it. I always kind of went straight for like a Shrike or, you know, a Destroyer or something like that, and just kind of went straight for the full driver, not just a fairway. And like, it flies so cleanly. Wherever I put it, it's going, and it will not veer off.
Are you still backhand, or are you?
I'm still forearming most of the time. I do want to practice a little bit more with the backhand, but I'm still trying to get used to some of the discs for now, because I bought so many new ones.
Whenever you start backhanding, remember
that.
No,
yeah. No, I totally understand. But like, I just want to know like how the discs are going to react to what I'm used to, and then that way I can kind of always bank on that, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I tried a Roadrunner today, which was fun.
I don't know what that is.
It was a Star Roadrunner and Evo disc, and it's got like a nice right hook to it, which is kind of nice because I find myself like always, you know, you throw out and then it kind of lands to the left, or it fades down to the left a little bit. This one doesn't do that fade as much, and it just goes to the right side. It's got a heavy turn on it, And so like I'll
So
throw it and it'll go round and curve back the way I need it to.
so it's pretty stable.
It's very, I guess, understable. If I'm not,
Well, if it doesn't have any fade, it's probably stable. Hold on.
there's a
me see this
website that
puppy.
has like,
I'm just looking at its flight specs real quick.
yeah, do your thing. This is so
Fly.
not related to Magic, by the way.
Disc golf is Magic. And if you have money to spend on Magic, you have money to spend on disc golf. Yeah, it's stable.
Okay. You know better than
Really
I do.
If ever it says it's good for rollers,
Yeah.
it's a stable disc.
Okay.
Because it's a disc that if you like aggressively whip the right way, they will just turn all the way over and roll. Like hit the ground and just roll. If you've watched pro disc golf, you can see a roller.
Yeah.
So
But
cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
I've just been trying a bunch of different stuff. Caitlin picked up a leopard and a Mako because she like, I think she was trying to throw like actual distance drivers, and because she didn't have the speed behind it, it wasn't doing what she wanted it to do. And so I said because I had bought that Mako 3 a while back and like really enjoy it. And I was like, it's a perfect mid-range disc because it will go straight. Like it's built for that. Like it's perfect at that. So why don't you just try and do that, not worry about the driver, because that's not going to be as like, it's not going to do what you want it to do until you have that speed behind it. Whereas the Mako is going to be able to like just kind of do exactly what you need it to. And she loved it.
Yeah, she doesn't need to throw anything that's higher than a speed 7 while she's learning.
Right. And the leopard is at like the top end.
Yeah.
So
that's safe.
Yeah.
It's hard to control those high speed discs. So something like a T-Bird or a leopard is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with it. I love it. Love to hear it.
It's been
I
fun.
haven't been able to go. I guess I haven't could go, but my weekends have been pretty packed for a while. And we have Amelia home right now. Right. Her daycare is closed. Yeah. So my mornings to go out throw discs are gone. So that's kind of restricted me. So the last time I played was when we played. So
well, we need to do that again.
It's been
if Sarah would like to come, we would of course love to have Sarah too. But I hope she had a fun time.
She did, up until she was like, "Oh, I have strep now."
Yeah, but, which I get.
Yeah.
But yeah, like anytime we play, like if it's nice out, we generally try and go out and play either after work or during the weekends. We played earlier today. And then also actually just played regular golf at Winthrop for a little bit, which was fun.
I will not play that with you, probably.
Oh, I suck at golf. It's awful. But it's just a fun time.
Yeah, I do too many things. I can't want to do another thing.
Oh, I feel that. Trust me.
I'm sure I would have fun. Sarah and I tried to go to Top Golf, Jesus, for a like fun anniversary night, and we couldn't get in, albeit, but we tried to go, so it'll be a fun time.
We should definitely play disc golf again soon. I would like that.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, gauge the mods on D&D, bud. That's
okay. Alex, you're in charge of the mods. Let's get in charge, or let's figure it out.
There you go.
Yes,
yeah,
I would like.
I would prefer not to get that, but I will if no one else will.
We will figure that one out. I think you're in our Oh, he already bugged him. Alex, you're on top of it. We'll figure it out. Oh, we just got a new follower too. Sinister Bleeder. Good name.
Sinister Bleeder?
Yeah. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed it. We're about to end, but this has been like mostly Commander Legends and then a little bit not, but that's fine. Hey, glad you enjoyed it, Bleeder. Thank you so much. Guys, if there's nothing else in the chat about Commander Legends, I really do appreciate everybody kind of hanging out and hopefully enjoying what we've got to say about it. I think it's a great set. I do encourage everybody to go pick it up if you can. And as a follower, Bleeder, you and everybody else here, you guys actually get a free entry into our giveaway for Commander Legends. So it was a really fun time. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Minecraft dude, I'm tired, dude. I feel that. Good luck to everybody in the giveaway. Don't forget to pick up some merch. The confident not skilled shirt is available now. I'm gonna do this really quick, even though it's gonna remind you in less than a minute. But anyway, thank you guys so much. This has been the It Resolves podcast. My name is Kevin.
My name is Will.
This has been It Resolves. Woo! We did it. Bye.
Good night, sweet dreams.